Stalker 2 is hard, but luckily there are weapons and armor that can really put you in the driver's seat and make you the best stalker in the zone. Let's go through all the best weapons and gear you've got to grab as soon as possible. Let's go. Let me know any cool gear that you have come across in the comments and where to find it so we can all find it together. We'll start with potentially my favorite weapon that I have found, and that is the custom Viper Shah's mate. Now, this is my favorite gun for a couple of reasons. It uses the same ammo as the Viper, which is extremely common, and because it is a Viper, you can put a scope and like all that attachment stuff on it. Now, it has fantastic damage output and solid range, so it can really take that sort of mid-range weapon if you want to use one of those styles of weapons. Plus, it comes with a custom magazine, so it stores like an extra 12, 13 bullets extra, which is absolutely fantastic because limiting the amount of times you have to reload is really good, especially in those larger like main story encounters where they spawn a whole bunch of enemies that always charge at you. It really helps to have a gun like this where you can consistently line up those headshots or just like melt those enemies. Now, to get Shah's mate, it does come from the garbage area of the map. It is to the north of the slag heap, and up here underneath a tunnel on the railway, you will find a bag here that you can open, which will have Shah's mate in it. Now, something to note here is when you do pick this up, a creature will spawn, so you just need to be careful of that. But it is well worth the effort to go and pick up this bad boy. Now, I got this marker of where this weapon was on my map from a quest. I don't know if you specifically need to have done that quest for the actual item to appear in this like bag. So if that is the case, do let me know in the comments down below. The next one I wanted to touch on is one you've probably run into the gentleman that has this weapon, but I mostly wanted to use this as a way to talk about a larger discussion, and that's the Drowner Assault Rifle. Now, as you arrive at the slag heap, there is a gentleman here who will have, for some reason, dropped his custom AR into the chemicals down below. You can just go and pick this up, and then you have the option to give it to him or keep it for yourself. Now, if you keep it for yourself, you have a AK-74 that has the grenade launcher attachment on it, which is cool and all, but if you did the Warlock's Debtor, like at the very start of the game, you get a much better version of this with a custom scope on it at the top of the water tower from doing that side quest. And fun fact, you can just attach the grenade launcher to that weapon or any other AK-74 if you choose to. At the intercom tower in the cement factory district, there is a safe here where you can actually locate this attachment if you wanted to put it on, say, that AK or any other AK that you want. It is in a safe here that is locked by a code. Now, that code is 030794. Now, you don't need to go and find this note where it tells you how to get that code. You just need to plug in that code, and then in that safe, you will find the GP25, which can be attached to the AK-M47 and AK-M74 series weapons, so you'll be able to put that onto that AK or any other AK if you choose to. The downside to this, however, is that there isn't a whole lot of those grenades that you'll find out in the world or like buy them from vendors to actually make it worthwhile having the grenade launcher. I really wish there was a way that you could get more of these grenades to actually use them, as there is a few of them, but you go through them very fast if you're actually going to use this attachment a lot, and that's also why the Drowner isn't very good. But you will find mods like this that you can attach to weapons. It's always good to keep an eye out for these, especially in the stashes, because a lot of stashes will often have something like this, or sometimes they just have nothing, which is quite sad, but it's always good to keep an eye out for these. What about a custom silenced assault rifle of the AR-416 variety? This is a fantastic gun that I really like. This gun, I always like the reload animations for this weapon, but you can grab the Sofmod assault rifle, which is what this weapon is. It comes with a silencer. You can put a scope on it. You can do all the typical things you can with these ARs. This comes from just inside the Zayton area. You'll probably come across this area, but you might actually miss this item. It's in a building here that you walk into, and you'll just see it like sitting on the table here. You can pick this up. There's some ammo next to it. The downside to this weapon is its damage and penetration is a little bit lower because of its silence variety, but it's still a great weapon. If you do like to sneak in Stalker, it's fantastic, and it can still one-shot enemies with that headshot, and I do prefer this weapon as a assault rifle variant other than the other ARs that you can get, like the one we mentioned in my initial mistakes video, which if you want to know how to get that one, go and watch that video. By the way, at this same location, there's actually some armor here behind a locked door. The code for that door is 2468. Once you plug that in, you'll find some armor as well in that same location. Really good location. Speaking of that location, there's actually a shotgun that's like not far from there either, and it's not a bad shotgun. It is a custom pump action shotgun. I haven't typically used this shotgun because the M680 is kind of better in most regards, but it's still not bad. So I'll tell you where it is anyway. But we're still in that same region, but we're actually off to the east a little bit. There is like another building here. There is a creature that'll spawn when you get to this location. It's actually inside like this green hut. To get in here, you need to climb this roof and then drop down into the roof. And then in the journalist stash, or the blue stash here, is where you'll actually find the Predator shotgun, which you can upgrade if you do want to use it. It's not a bad shotgun, but I just prefer the M680. But I thought I'd mention it here because it is pretty close by to those other couple of goodies. Let's talk about some armor. Now, armor is a tricky thing in Stalker because there's a lot of different varieties. There's one that's incredible for physical protection, which we'll cover in a little bit. But the one I've been wearing the most is the SEVA Suit D. Now, this is great because it comes with a helmet attachment as well. So it lowers the amount of inventory weight that you're carrying because it's like both of these in the one, which is really beneficial until you can up your carry weight in a certain way. I've chosen to go this one as there is like another variant of this suit that's technically better that you can get like super early in the game as well, but it's like all the way on the other side of the map. You just have to like walk there, and like low-key walking takes forever, and I don't necessarily think it's the most viable solution to tell you to walk all the way across the map when you can get a suit that's almost identical, like very close to the slag heap area in the cement factory region, which will see you through like that, most of them like the mid part of the game, which is what I have been using. So in order to get this suit, you'll need to go to the cage, which is to the east of the slag heap and to the south of the cement factory base. Now when you get to this location, there's this like big cement like structure here that you'll need to do like the jumping puzzle to climb all the way to the top. There is like a sigh effect here, but there's no creatures or anything. You just like hear some noises and like the screen will like shake and do all that sort of wacky stuff. And once you get to the very top up here is where you will find the suit, and you can pick this up. It comes with 3 artifact slots initially, but you can upgrade this to 5. It's also available to upgrade a bunch of other things on it as well. So it's got fantastic protection across the board for all of the categories, plus side protection, which does become important not too long after you can actually go and get this set. So it is quite valuable to go and grab. But there is one that is technically better, but I wouldn't be using it personally, and that is the Cuirass Exoskeleton. Now, you can get this skeleton much earlier than you can get the other exoskeletons. Now, exoskeletons, when you have them equipped, you can't sprint. There is mods for certain ones that will allow you to sprint when you install the mod. This one, I don't believe has one, or I just like haven't found it, but it's one that you can get super early in the game without having to progress the main story. This is up past the cemetery factory in the cooling towers, up in the SKD assembly unit up here. You'll need to climb like the framework inside the building where there's like the stairway, and climb all the way to the very top. And up at the very top, you'll actually just see this exoskeleton chilling on a shelf here with some other goodies right next to it. Now, what's great about this armor is it has absolutely fantastic physical protection, and all of its protection stats are quite high. Just like the SEVA D, it comes with the headpiece already. Plus, it gives you an increase to your maximum weight by 8, which is fantastic for all of the carry weight issues in this game. The main downside to this is that you can't sprint. Right now, that can be an issue. You can obviously upgrade this to add various effects to it, but the issue is not being able to sprint, which when you have to walk everywhere is a massive downgrade. So personally, I haven't been running this. You totally can if sprinting isn't important to you, but I like to sprint everywhere. I have my shift key held like literally the entire time through the game. There is some other exoskeletons much later in the game that are better than this, that do have the sprint mod, which I might touch on in a future video. Let me know if you're interested in that, but I didn't want to call this one out as you can get it super early if like damage protection is something that you're struggling with. And also, while you're in this area, there is a fantastic assault rifle that you should grab. That's literally a direct upgrade to the AK-M74 that you can grab in the cooling towers. This is actually next to one of the towers. From the south of the tower, there is like this little frame that you can climb up. Now, when you get to the top, there's a little teleport. You'll need to use that teleport to get all the way to the very top of the tower and then walk all the way around, and you'll see the DNI Pro just chilling on the tire here. Now, why this weapon is good is because you can essentially put all of the AK-M74 attachments that you've attached to that gun onto this, except for the grenade launcher mod. So if you've got the increased mag size, you've got like a scope, whatever you've attached to it, right, silencer, etc., you can just move all of that to the DNI Pro, which is fantastic if that's what weapon you have been using, as I know a lot of people are using the AK-M74, and this just being a direct upgrade is absolutely fantastic. I actually switched to using this as one of my main drivers. The downside is that this is quite damaged when you pick pick it up, so you will need to repair it before you can do any of the upgrades, but it is great because it is just a fantastic one-to-one upgrade from that other AKM that everyone's probably been using throughout that early game. You can grab this while you're grabbing the exoskeleton if you want to use that, and you've got a fantastic gun with good damage and penetration, plus good rate of fire, solid enough accuracy, and decent enough range that you can switch this as like a one-to-one change. But if you're wondering what I've typically been using, it is a lot of Sofmod, it's a lot of that Shah's mate, and then usually a shotgun of some variety to deal with all the creatures that run at your face. But let me know what guns you're running and any cool weapons that you have found in the comments. Thank you guys for watching this video till the end. Thank you to our members for supporting the channel. My name is NorZZa, and I hope you have a great day.